In the season of Fallout 76 and Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out, I find it very hard to justify those purchases when I've barely beaten any of the games that I've already got on my hands. Yes, I'm making a video about my backlog. Since the summer, I've been trying to revisit a lot of the games that I've purchased, and I've been trying to beat them because video games are expensive and it's hard to keep buying all these video games when it accumulates into a backlog of games that I've barely touched. Okay, alright, so these are some of the cases that I've brought with me to college. So I bought Doom earlier this year, and I've been falling in and out of this game. Like, I expected to like it and be hooked to it a lot more than I was initially. Don't get me wrong, I love the gameplay of this game, but for some reason I'll play like a level or two and then not return to it for months. But recently I've been trying to get back into revisiting this game. I'm so close to beating it right now. God of War. This game is great. This is a great game. I love what I've played so far. I'm like 10 hours in, but I still have a lot more to go. Apparently, I looked up like where I was at. I spent about like 8 to 10 hours playing the game so far, and I'm probably only like 30% through. I think as a college student, it's a lot harder for me to convince myself to sit down for a game or a story like this when it requires a lot more out of me, and in that case, that's why I just revert to Switch. Yeah. I think I actually fell out of Splatoon for a little bit, ever since Nintendo made online paid. But as a college student, I find it a lot easier to just keep resorting to Skyrim. Yeah, it's yeah. But then I have other games like Batman Arkham Knight. I know for a fact that I am never gonna beat this game just because I don't care that much anymore. The only superhero video game I'm gonna play from now on is Spider-Man PS4, so. And then I bought Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon because I recently bought the Luigi's Mansion 3DS remake, and I was like, man, I should really repurchase Dark Moon. And Dark Moon's a great game, but it's taking a little longer than I anticipated to actually beat it. It's a lot longer than I remember it being because I sold my old copy. But the idea that I wanted to talk about today was the mindset that I'm trying to get in the habit of to, in result, slowly minimize my backlog over time. So for starters, I don't exactly have the floodgates open to a massive amount of income landing in my bank account every week, so I have to be mindful of the games that I spend $60 on. So yeah, video games are expensive because they're not just a form of entertainment and escapism. They also require not only our time, but also our attention and effort. Beating a video game is much different than sitting through a movie or even reading a book. So with that taken into account, I try to be mindful of how much effort and how much time a game requires out of me before I buy it. So with this new mindset, I look up how long it takes to beat a game. And then I ask myself, would I be willing to put X amount of dollars into spending X amount of hours into this particular game? Because I think it goes without saying, when we buy a game, it's not going to make us feel better just by having it. We obviously have to play it, and we have to sometimes beat it in order to really get that sense of fulfillment out of it, right? Because a movie collection is much different than a video game collection. It's just a movie collection. You put it in, then you watch it, yeah. But with video games, you have a collection of games that you've played and beaten, you have a collection of games that you haven't beaten, and then you have a collection of games that you haven't even played or touched yet. So the way I'm trying to handle it now is that I try and set aside a specific time where I play video games. So my schedule now is sort of, I spend the weekdays doing like 90% work, and then the whatever time I have, I'll play a video game, like knock out like a level of this game, level of that game, an hour of this game, you know, whatever. And then the weekends, I usually have a day where it's like I focus on nothing but playing this game just so I can get through it and enjoy it. Yeah. And yeah, like dedicating that much time to a video game can be hard because, you know, as a creator and as someone who makes videos all the time, I give up on ideas after like 3 days, and as someone who burns out that fast, imagine trying to sit myself down for a 40-hour game. Yeah. But of course there are games, like for me it's Batman Arkham Knight, where it's like you know that you don't care at all if you don't beat that game or not, and you know those games obviously don't apply, but I'm addressing this mainly to the games that like you would like to have on your list of games that you've beaten, or you know, whatever. In all seriousness, I'm trying to be more mindful of the games that I bring into my life without question, because it doesn't feel good to have a shelf full of games that you haven't really touched or beaten. So yeah. So even though Red Dead is out and Fallout 76 is coming out next week, I have to restrain myself from dropping money immediately to buy those games, and I think I should just take this time to enjoy what I already have. That's all I have for today. The backlog. That's my take on the backlog, and I'm just gonna end this video because I have nothing to end it with. I'm Nicholas Gregorio. I make a video every week because that's what I'm trained to do. If you're new to this channel, hi, welcome. Feel free to comment because I like comments. I like it when people say things, okay? That's all I've got for today. I'm Nicholas Gregorio. Bye.